Hello again. Pointing out the obvious in Britain can be a hazardous enterprise these days, one likely to see you in the newspaper headlines and being denounced by the Prime Minister. This is especially so if one of the things which you notice and then mention out loud is immigration. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the latest person to come a cropper in that way. The other day he said, "You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits and huge levels of immigrants coming in." Well, I cannot for the life of me see what anybody would complain about when somebody says that. There are 9 million people on benefits and there are huge levels of immigrants coming in. This was simply a man stating the truth bluntly and indicating his opinion about the facts which he was running over. He went on to say that the UK is being colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? Well, this may perhaps be a debatable point, but it certainly looks that way to many of us, although those of us who are not billionaires are usually a little more cautious about saying so. We don't want to lose our livelihoods or even our freedom for speaking out of turn on such a sensitive subject. The response of Prime Minister Keir Starmer was priceless. He tweeted that offensive and wrong. Britain is a proud, tolerant and diverse country. Jim Ratcliffe should apologise. I am tempted to ask to whom it is that Ratcliffe should apologise. To the Prime Minister, perhaps? To the 9 million people on benefits? The immigrants? This episode encapsulates what I spoke of yesterday, that there are an increasing number of topics which we must steer clear of. I mentioned immigration and Islam, but we can add to that now the fact that nearly 10 million people in this country are drawing social security benefits. Almost a third of them, 2.8 million people of working age, are being provided with benefits and not required to be looking for work because they are apparently too ill to work. This is an extraordinary and unprecedented situation in this country when getting on for 3 million people are now unable to work and nobody expects them to work. I'm tempted to remind viewers about genuinely disabled men like Douglas Bader, who had no legs and still fought vigorously to be allowed to join the RAF. He was a valiant fighter pilot and then went on to have a career as a businessman. These days he would have been on benefits for most of his life, I suppose. But there, those millions of people without jobs is now apparently another of those taboo subjects, and it has already been claimed that some of those folk were upset and offended at what Jim Ratcliffe said. Many of us, though, do see it as really weird that we have 9 million people on benefits and yet are importing hundreds of thousands of immigrants to do unskilled jobs, which those people currently drawing the dole or whatever we call it these days could easily do. Jobs like delivery drivers, security guards, working as baristas, and so on. There is surely great scope here for a conversation about the future of Britain. But when some important businessman draws attention to the strange state of affairs, the Prime Minister himself is offended, demands that he say sorry. This will not solve the problem of mass unemployment coupled with mass immigration, but it will at least discourage other people from speaking about it publicly.